We all love that feeling when things go perfectly as planned, when everything just works out. But the truth is, reality rarely works that way. The universe has its own plans, and oftentimes the plans of the universe do not align with the things we truly want to happen. And I used to get pretty pissed off when things didn't go my way, especially when I had planned or practiced certain things and I had these expectations of them turning out in a specific manner. But if it didn't happen in the way that I thought it would, then I'd become so annoyed. I'd get frustrated. I think that reality itself was just out to get me, or that the universe just didn't like me. Now, of course, that's emotional immaturity. I admit that. But yeah, this went on for a while until one day I realized that that way of thinking is so foolish. The universe isn't out to get you. Reality isn't trying to push you back even further. Reality, from my experience, is always throwing some sort of a curveball at you. It's not necessarily out to get you, it's not out to punish you, but I like to think that everything is a test. And one of the mindset shifts that I made was essentially gamifying this aspect of my life. Now, I know that sounds weird, but this has helped me tremendously. Because in a video game, especially open world story-based video games, there's always things happening all around you. Mainly, NPCs will walk in your path and be like, hey, I have a side quest for you. Can you help me? I will give you XYZ reward. And then you can decide, okay, well, this is annoying because I was going for this main quest. I have these bigger things that I should be working on, but maybe this side quest is exactly what I need. And that side quest can take hours or days or even weeks to complete. And the whole time you're thinking, wow, I voluntarily did this. Nobody forced me to do this side quest, but it just happened to pop up in front of me while I was doing the main quest, and I said, hey, let me do it. That was reality within the game, at least, testing you. That was reality trying to see how you will react and what you will do in response to this situation. And our physical world works the same way. For better or for worse, these things all around you in the world are always happening. And you get to decide how you respond to them. Now, in the past, I used to act like a victim to whatever the circumstance was. I think, why me? Why now? I've got other things going on within my life. I don't have the time for this. I don't have the energy for this. I don't have the money and the resources for this. But this mindset, that complainer mindset, it really never helps. When you instead accept and even invite the chaos and uncertainty within your life rather than rejecting it and getting upset about it, then it just overall puts you in a better headspace to deal with these situations. And as time passes and you fully adopt this mindset of just embracing that chaos, inviting that chaos into your life, then what you realize is that these chaotic situations don't happen as often. It's very weird how that works because on one hand, I'm saying these things happen well beyond your control. There's so many things that their influence is way beyond what you can influence. But on the other hand, I'm saying when you respond to the chaos in a favorable manner, when you invite it in, when you embrace it and accept it, then less chaos happens. I truly believe there's some sort of universal force way beyond our conception that is at play here. And when you act in a way that is, as I said, accepting, inviting, and you're just embracing whatever happens, the universe, it favors you. That's why when I was a teenager and even in my early 20s, when things went wrong in my life, I reacted negatively. It seemed like even more things went wrong within my life. There's this great quote by Captain Jack Sparrow, played by Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean. He says, "The problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem." Now, I know that seems overly simple, but it's true. The situation itself is not positive or negative. It simply is. But the way you react to whatever that situation is, that determines whether or not you have an opportunity or a problem. Now, even after you have essentially gamified this aspect of life and you just accept the fact that there are random things happening all around you all the time, way beyond your control, you can take things even a step further. And I think this next step is letting go. Just simply letting go. Now, what do I mean by this? I'm sure you've heard this before, like, just let go, man. It sounds very hippy dippy, woo woo, spiritual. But this idea is largely misunderstood. A lot of people think letting go means not trying or giving up on whatever it is you've been pursuing. But this isn't exactly what letting go really means. What letting go truly means is releasing your emotional attachments to specific outcomes you may want and having zero expectations about what's happening within the world around you. Now, of course, there are many layers to the idea of letting go, but in this context, it's simply detaching your emotions and not expecting things to turn out in a specific manner. You can let go in terms of your social status, your identity, your physical, worldly possessions like this. And that all makes sense in their own context. But in this context, this is what letting go means. And this is, to me, liberating and terrifying all at once. Because as humans, we feel attached to material things and social structures that have been developed all around us. They help us feel more secure. They help us feel like we have control, which is ultimately a great thing. It's a very helpful thing. But ultimately, when you can let go of your expectations, when you can let go of your emotional responses to whatever's happening around you, that is a big help, along with gamifying reality, to essentially stop trying to control everything. And I'm not saying that you need to lose your sense of self. I'm not saying that you gotta experience ego death or anything like that. No. But my main point here is this. Stop psychologically clinging to things you cannot fully control. You can still work hard, pursue certain goals, love people, train your body, create art, and all the other things that make you human. But internally, you stop demanding that reality obey your preferences. You're just going with the flow of life. As Bruce Lee once said, be like water. And that's how you are. When you stop trying to force reality to go your way, you go with the flow. You're simply riding this unpredictable wave of life. And you're controlling what you can, but you're letting go of the rest. Obviously, don't slip into nihilism or numbness here. It's not at all what I'm getting at. But be flexible, be adaptable, be malleable to whatever situation you may find yourself in. And you'll become much more calm, much more centered, and reality will tend to work out in your favor in more ways than it did before. So, yeah, hope this makes sense. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.